Hello and welcome back to another video from Jibber Campervans. Now today you'll see we've got the brand new ID Buzz Cargo behind me. What we're going to do today is we're going to jump in, have a look around, check out some of the sizes in the back, compare it to the T6.1 that we've already been converting, and start to talk about whether this will become the next sort of generation of camper vans that you'll see on the road. So let's have a look. So I think we can all agree that the ID Buzz will make a fantastic camper van just based on the way it looks. It's got that incredible styling, but you already know that. So what are the sort of practicals of making it into a camper van? Well, the first thing we need to consider is how big this thing is in the back. So let's open up the back door, have a little look. Okay, so I've got my little spec sheets here, and I'm just going to kind of give you guys some sizing and some context for what that will mean for us as camper van converters. But a few things to know first of all. So this fully electric has a range of about 256 miles. That's assuming that there's one driver, not much else going on in the van. So by the time it's fully laden, what will that mileage be? We don't know. Just now, we can only order this version that we're in right now, which is the short wheelbase. The van that you're looking at currently is the Cargo. So we previously looked at the sort of passenger vehicle, the multivan. That's got loads of trims, it's got seats in the back, it's got a different interior. That's not one that we would consider converting into a camper van because there's too much stuff to take out. But we will consider this Cargo, as you see it here. And this is basically the one that becomes the sort of trade van, as you will. There is a long wheelbase version of this one, which is 200 millimeters longer, I believe, but that's not yet available in the UK, and we can't get it. We don't know if it will become available, but if it does become available, that would be the one because it's obviously bigger. Now, this ID Buzz will also come with two sliding doors. So in the Transporter T6.1, it only came with one. You could spec it with two, but we didn't because we didn't need the second door. So that's something else that we'll have to consider if we're building a sort of camper van in here. We'd probably have to make use of that door or deactivate that door somehow if we were to have furniture up the side, but another sort of consideration. Now, let's talk about some sizes. Now, in the T6.1 and all its predecessors, basically you could slide in an 8x4 sheet and get yourself off to work, no problems whatsoever. And in this one, the short wheelbase, it is wide enough between the wheel arches. It's 12-30 millimeters wide, but it's not actually long enough when you've got the bulkhead in anyway to take a full 8x4 sheet, which seems like quite an unusual move from Volkswagen, so we're not sure why they've done that. But if you had the long wheelbase, which is that 200 millimeters longer, it would fit in that one. So possibly that's the idea. Now, the internal height in here, which is really important when we consider a roof and putting seats in and stuff, in the ID Buzz, it's 1330 millimeters high. And comparing that to the Transporter, which is 1410 high, that's basically 80 millimeters different, so 8 centimeters, which is actually quite a lot when you're in the back of one of these. This is 4712 mil long, so 4 meters 72 long, and the Transporter short wheelbase is 4904, so 200 millimeters longer than this vehicle. And in terms of total vehicle height, this one is 1937 millimeters high. The Transporter T6.1 is 1990, so the Transporter is taller again, so it's just sort of generally much bigger. What we'll do is I'll give Alan a shout now, and he's going to take off all the panels inside, and we'll get a good look in underneath these panels and start to see just how much real space there is to work with in this van. All right, so Alan's been in the back and he's stripped out all the panels, taken the floor out so we can get a good look at what the complete back of the ID Buzz will be like. We're actually really surprised. We really didn't think that this would give us any real opportunities to make it into a camper van, but let's have a look inside. I think you'll be just as surprised as we are. Here's what an ID Buzz looks like in the back with the floor ripped out, all the panels ripped off the sides, and When we first got this, we thought, it's probably just going to be too small. There's just not enough width. There's no way we're going to be able to fit a seat in because we've got a battery bank under the floor. But actually, I think you'd agree that this might just make quite a neat little sort of day van. We've got the width at the sides beyond the wheel arches, so we could build cabinetry if we wanted to, maybe. The floor dips down, so we've got this lower level here. There is a loom, but we may be able to, you know, make some sort of seat to go up against that or in the back here. Not quite sure, but it is definitely a lot bigger. I'll grab the camera and I'll bring it in so we can sort of show you firsthand what that looks like. So we can see that we've got all the paneling off and we've got loads of room in the back there. We can also see that the floor's out. Now, we thought that the floor was going to be just a big battery bank, but the battery bank's actually underslung. We do have all this sort of loom work here that we would need to possibly relocate or build something on top of. But actually, if we sort of zoom in, you can see that it comes with all of these seat fixing points, we'll call them. Loads of stuff in there that could possibly be utilized to sort of, yeah, make a seat work with. We've also got quite a bit of headroom, not as much as we'd like, but if you imagine by the time you put a pop top on there or something unique like a pop top, it's going to give you extra headroom in the front. So this really could become quite a neat little day van. And we'll just go around the side, looking in at that floor, loads of strengthening beams, and then there's that raised panel I was talking about before. Now this is a short wheelbase. If you imagine the long wheelbase, that's going to be 200 millimeters longer. That would just give us so much more room in here. This one is quite short in the back, but yeah, if we do get to do some work on a long wheelbase cargo like this one, that might just give us what we need to build quite a cool little camper van. So yeah, interesting. So this is the ID Buzz Cargo. It's basically the version that will go out to all the small businesses, all the tradespeople. It's a sort of workies van, if you will. The version that we had then was a sort of people carrier. It had seats in the back, loads of nice trim, really light coloured dash. This one totally different, hard wearing dash, all in black, and that's for obvious reasons if you're sort of working in it. But one thing to say about the interior in here, you'll notice little things like the doors are really heavy. They've got that signature Volkswagen sort of noise to them. They feel fantastic, really high quality, really impressed by all that. The finish on the dash, totally impressed by it. We've got the screen in the middle, which looks great. It looks fantastic. It looks like it should. It looks up to date, timeless. The way it drives fantastic. One thing you'll probably notice is it's absolutely glued to the road, so when you turn around a corner it doesn't move. Not sure why that is. Perhaps it's got some sort of adaptive suspension on it, not sure, but it's just, yeah, absolutely glued to the road. Feels really nice to drive, nice and quiet, really quick. So impressed by the sort of general vehicle. I think it will be a fantastic on-the-road vehicle. People will really enjoy driving it. Although it's not perfect, it is very, very cool. It's very neat. It does give us something new in the electric sort of vehicle world that we can start thinking about, and we can start developing things for, developing ideas, sort of innovating the sort of next chapter for Gerber Campervans, I guess. And it's really exciting to be able to do it on the Buzz. Now, technology we develop on this will probably get utilised in another van that's in the pipeline that we'll probably convert. So we will start working on this, and you will see updates on the ID Buzz. But general idea for us, especially now that we've ripped the paneling off, is that we think this could become quite a cool little camper van, and we're really, really sort of intrigued to see what we can do with it. So if you've enjoyed this video, if you want to see more of the Buzz and you want to see all the other stuff that we're going to be getting up to here at Gerber Campervans, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.